I'm Mark here, Wednesday, March the 25th, 8 a.m. Eastern, 12 noon GMT. US session now underway. Let's have a look at how the markets are performing. US dollar index, small green candlestick, but demand for US dollar hasn't been easy, and US dollar buyers are struggling. You can see that on the chart. Downtrend still in place. Support tested again at 98.85. Buyers have stepped in again at that support area, and I've got resistance at 99.20, and now sitting pretty much like a doji-like candlestick back where we started, have tested a little higher and lower. We'll see now that the US session is underway, whether buyers can break above this 99.20, perhaps move higher and aim towards this descending trend line, or if sellers do step in, break below the 98.85 and maintain below the 99 level. This 99 level is looking pivotal for now. Certainly for me, a bearish feel to the index as the US session does get underway. Let's have a look at the S&P 500 futures market, hour and a half until Wall Street opens up. And there we see US S&P 500 on the front foot, gap higher to open, trading from closing at 6,600 yesterday. Futures market opened up at 6,649 and has continued higher. I've got support 6,631. I've got resistance at 6,682. Now the US session is open and going, and Wall Street will open up in an hour and a half. We'll see whether that can continue. Demand for US equities and buyers look up to that 6,700 or higher. Let's have a look at gold. Finally, a strong performance from gold after, I think it was 9 consecutive red candlesticks and a strong downtrend. Fought back 2 days ago. You see the long wick at the bottom of this candlestick, which is a bullish sign. And yesterday continued that push higher, raising the body of that green candlestick, and then a gap higher to start the new trading day. I've now got support at 4,516. I've got resistance at 4,595. Buyers will want to test this resistance, test the 4,600 or higher. If we're going to get a turnaround, a bounce down off this area, we'll see sellers looking down at the support, the 4,522 or lower. I think gold could, a push higher in gold could be aided by or given some impetus if we see US dollar weakness will certainly add to the demand for gold at this point. But we have seen a bit of a bounce. We'll see whether that can be maintained with now that the US session is open. Let's have a look at Brent oil. Continuing the push lower, and the push lower certainly going hand in hand with the with things cooling down, should I say, somewhat in the Middle East, in terms of, at least there is now talk of reconciliation, of the conflict possibly slowing down, certainly from the US's perspective, but we'll see how that does play out. I've got resistance at 97.31. I've got support at 93.46, and maintaining from yesterday's quieter day on the market. Sellers will look, as long as the positive and as long as there is optimism about reaching some type of an agreement, settlement one way or the other, prices could come further down and sellers look down to that $90 level. Bearing in mind that at this stage, the passageway shipping routes are still closed, always the potential for upside breaks, and buyers will, if buyers do step in, will look up at this 97 resistance area and look to get back above the $100 mark. Bitcoin So far, a good day for Bitcoin. Little bit of a sell-off yesterday. Monday, we had a strong day from Bitcoin. Struggled a bit yesterday, but continuing that move higher today and sitting now about to test that 72,000. We know that Bitcoin has struggled above 70,000, 71, 72,000, tough resistance area, but buyers will be looking up, will be looking higher if we see a new push in demand for Bitcoin. 75, 76,000 is the next target on the upside. If sellers do step in, which we have seen before, at this area, at this level around the 71, 72,000, sellers will look to get below 70,000 again and look down at the 68,000 support, which we saw from a couple of days ago. But certainly starting on the front foot going into the US session. Good trading, keep that discipline, and I will see you at the end of day.